On October 7th, I was at home, staying with my partner. I got a call from my paramedic telling me stuff are getting heated up in the Gaza Strip. At that moment, I called my commander, asking him, where should I be? And he told me, south. And that's basically about it. In that minute, I understand what I have to do. I'm passing through my apartment, picking up all my stuff, getting my uniform and weapon ready, and started driving out towards south part of Israel, not knowing nothing, not having any of my ceramic vest, without having my medical gear. I'm calling all my medics, keeping them updated on what I think is going on. And these minutes, we don't have any clue what's happening around us, yeah? I'm getting my reports from the news, strictly. Meanwhile, rocket sirens are flying on top of us. When I got to Ashkelon, I was with my medic inside my car. We saw a rocket hitting a balcony, and the balcony just collapsed right in front of us, and we're driving towards fire. Like, that's the situation. It's almost like an apocalyptic feeling. Our battalion is part of Israel's search and rescue units. So what we do is we rescue people who are trapped underneath ruins. So we have a place that we're supposed to convene in the south part of Israel, around the Gaza Strip. So I got there without any connection to my commander. We had a brief phone call of 10 seconds where he told me, do not leave the spot you're in. And that's all I got from him. Right before I got there were rockets flying everywhere. A constant Tseva Adom, red alert, which means that you should go into shelter bombs. We didn't have the privilege to do so and protect ourselves. In these minutes, I get a slight understanding that there is some events going in Zikim. There, I understand that there are 15 people who are injured inside Bacha Oref, which is the home base, the boot camp base of our battalion. So I think to myself, I need to go there. I know that there are some injuries there. The main thing that I held in my head the entire time was the life and well-being of my soldiers, of my medics. After we got to our convention place, we took a regular car, just a car, and drove straight ahead to Zikim. In the middle of the road, an ambulance stopped us, and he just started taking out dead bodies out of the ambulance and putting them in the back of my truck, shouting at us, "Help us! Take these bodies away from me! I need to go back and fetch more." In these minutes, I understand that the whole scenario is way more severe than I thought it was. They were from our training boot camp. These dead bodies was of training soldiers who were in the first few days, months in the army. These were the dead bodies of also the commanders of my own soldiers. They knew them. One of my direct soldiers told me, this is her, like, this is my commander, I know her. As we moved her from our vehicle to another, because I understand that we need to go forward. We need to maintain our abilities and our gear and be helpful somewhere else. When we got to Zikim, like right outside of the Zikim, there was a T-crossroad, and there we did something that's called injured concentration spot, which is where we concentrate all our injureds, do triage, and then evacuate them by urgency. And I tried to contact our Magen David Adom, who they also tried to contact me because they wanted to go there and evacuate all the injureds, and they couldn't come there because it was under fire. It was under direct fire, and we had terrorist units going around everywhere, so it wasn't safe for them to come in. We, as army medical forces are we had to, go under fire and endanger our own lives doing so. So it was a ongoing scenario. We started getting pulses and pulses of injured soldiers, civilians, from the whole surrounding of the Zakim perimeter, from the beach and the bases nearby. If we conclude that to brute numbers, I guess we evacuated almost 40 injured soldiers and dead bodies altogether, and we passed on the information into Barzilai Hospital. So we drove. I tried to manage all the armed vehicles, like vehicles that are protected against shootings. Try to get them into the whole Zakim perimeter, evacuate with them injured and take them back with regular cars that we had there, or just cars that passed by. When I first got there, I didn't have all my gear of my own reserve that I have. So there were a couple of times where I had to give care to a patient who didn't have any means to do some pain relief. So there is just this one Ze'ev ride that I specifically remember when I put a cat blockage, which is artery blockage, on a soldier who is screaming from pain. It was in excruciating pain, and I didn't have anything to give him, and that was like we were actually in the exact ambulance we were sitting in. This is my ambulance where I treat with my staff. On the first few hours, it was still in the base with my soldiers. And when they came to me, because I gave them an order to leave everything behind and come to Zakim, they brought this ambulance with all the gear that we had. CAT, which is an artery blockage, fast cares, bandages, alcohol, drugs, loads and loads and loads of anti-pain. So on the first few days of the war, we used what we had. Things were quite chaotic. But later on, we got more than all the supplies we need. Like the army got rearranged, and we are ready. We have everything we need. We're in full capacity and capability to treat any wounded soldier or civilians that would need us, thanks to the FIDF and the medical corps of the army. There was this one troop who was injured. He got a gunshot in his back, and he got to our wounded collection point that we talked about, and I immediately approached him as he was dropped off, and he refused to get care. He told us that one of his friends is severely injured in one of the front bases, and he is in the middle of a terrorist attack right now, and he wouldn't let me touch him. So I moved him to my paramedic, and I told him, listen, I'm gonna find your friend, I'm gonna get him, and we're gonna treat him. We found just this one guy who had a armed vehicle. He just took an armed vehicle that he found, and I asked him to come with me and find this soldier. We drove. It's something like a 6 minutes drive, but it was like every minute was an eternity, yeah. And while we were driving the road next to Zakim, you saw all these just piles of dead bodies on the ground. And we were manipulating the vehicle in between them. And when we got to the base, we entered, and we tracked the force that was there. They were in the middle of fighting, like they were shooting right at us all the time. And we tried to collect the soldier that he was talking about, who is already gone, fortunately. So we can help this particular soldier. But the thing that strikes me the most in this story is like the friend who refused to take care of himself.
Wow.
For his fellow warrior. Yeah, he's been treated. We evacuated him to Barzilai Hospital and he got there safe and sound. I don't know the exact state of this particular patient, but I can tell you that we closed some circles and we know that there are at least 3 patients that we treated that day who came back into fighting. It's a lot for me. It's like, feels like we've done at least one thing right.